that isn't all that government has to worry about. Organized labor has given a 2-week ultimatum to government to pay funds under the new pension scheme. The group said attempts to get government to transfer their monies from the temporary pension fund accounts managed by the National Pensions Regulatory Authority to their independent managers have proved futile. Labor has asked government to respond to this final appeal or face the rage of retiring workers. I'm joined over the telephone by, I'm joined by Isaac Bampo Addo. Isaac Bampo Addo. Well, I understand I do not have Isaac Bampo Addo. Rather, I have Dr. Justice Anson, who is Deputy General Secretary for the Ghana Medical Association. You're welcome to the program, Dr. Anson.
Thank you.
Dr. Anson, we're having this call again. What happened the first time it came up?
Well, the long and short of it is simple. The issues have not been resolved as of today. And basically what the 4 groups within the public service who have this peculiar problem are saying is that the members are not happy at the current situation. Leaders been able, in a way, talk to them to be a bit calm. Leadership feelings them further to at least hold on their anger for another 2 weeks as leadership tries to sort the issues out with government. But beyond that period, the truth is that it might be difficult for leadership to contain the wrath of the people.
I see. And the concern has been for retiring workers. And in the release, we hear how these people are outraged by government's inability to transfer the pension funds into independent management chosen by the various associations. What's going to happen if government refuses to pay heed to this 2-week ultimatum?
Well, your guess may be as good as mine, but the issue is this. I mean, the people who are going to go on retirement come 1st January. They need their funds from the Tier 2 lump sum arrangement to make life better for themselves. You know the kind of hardships we are all going through. And once you become a retiree, technically speaking, nobody cares about you anymore. So people really want to at least cushion themselves for the years after work. And we have a situation where, as we speak, one, they don't even know how much has accrued to them because no statements are coming to them. They don't know who to even go and see to get their Tier 2 benefits. This is different from the SNIT arrangement. This is an entirely different thing because the SNIT arrangement is a Tier 1, as we want to put it. But when it comes to Tier 2, they are at a complete loss as to what is going on. And ideally, by now, 3 months to your retirement, you start processing your documents such that by the time you retire, your benefits are ready. And as we speak, they don't even know where to go. And these are serious issues we are talking about now. The workers are not happy. Those of us who haven't reached the retirement age yet, at least we should know how much we have so that we can also start planning. But all this, for now, is not happening to us. And the workers are not happy.
When does this ultimatum end?
Well, 2 weeks is 2 weeks. I mean, the release was
2 weeks from
yesterday.
When? Okay.
2 weeks from the date of issue of the release. That was yesterday.
All right. Now, since then, have you had any positivity coming from government side?
Well, you know, because of the prior engagements with government before yesterday, i.e., you know, we had a press conference earlier and all that, some engagements have gone on. But the truth is that we are just still where we are because of government's position. And basically, government's position is at variance with that of labor. And I think that is what is creating all these problems. And in the process, it is the employees who are suffering. The employer government is not suffering. Government machinery is still going on, all their benefits that they enjoy as, you know, executives or Article 71 holders. Everything is enshrined in the Constitution for them. They don't have a problem. But those of us who are on the ground, who are also going to go into the same market as them when they leave office, we are the ones who are going to suffer, you know, the pain. So we think that government ought to come to the table quickly and resolve this matter for us to know the way forward.
Share with us again, what is government's position on your request?
Well, basically, government position is such that they are not heeding to the demands of workers or labor. Let me put it that way.
Are there reasons why they do not want to transfer your pension fund to you?
Engagements are still going on. It will be difficult to state their position. But I think the best will be call government after this and let them tell you why.
Absolutely.
The workers are not getting what they want.
Dr. Anson, I'm grateful for your time. Dr. Justice Anson is Deputy General Secretary for the Ghana Medical Association. You may have also heard how 3 multimedia staff from Adom FM, including news editor Ifya Pokuya, were attacked at the National Health Insurance Office at Ablikuma here in Accra. Well, we've been engaging the Ghana Journalists Association, who's condemned the acts, but the association is waiting on the assaulted staff to make a formal complaint to it before it weighs in. I had a conversation with Dave Agbenu, who is General Secretary for the Ghana Journalists Association, earlier on News Desk. A terrible dent on press freedom in Ghana, isn't it?
You couldn't have put it any better. First of all, I want to wish our colleague speedy recovery if she's hurt. Fact is that I tried to listen to the conversation between the two of you and also the tape that was played previously, but I did not get to hear exactly what happened. So I cannot speak directly to what happened. I'm going to limit myself to the attack and say that it is barbaric, that it belongs to the old age, and such things must not be repeated. I listened to people talking about it, and I think that even the excuse is the key for the attack. It's nauseating. We shouldn't be sent to that level. It is not going to take us anywhere. For instance, the NHIS needs the media as much as the media also needs them. And therefore, it's a symbiotic relationship. We must not take advantage of the weakness of people whose profession demands that they will be confrontational or they will confront them and be beating them up. I cannot understand. But you see, we are vulnerable, and we must also know that, yes, in difficult times, people who are frustrated will always want to vent their spleen on innocent people. And therefore, we must also be careful. I sympathize with Ifya.
Would we see the DJA weighed in on this?
Yes. You know, 3 days ago or 4 days ago, I listened to Ifya and her colleagues who were discussing the media, including the DJA. And one of the things that they discussed was about the DJA always condemning such attacks and not do anything. And the other thing they said was that the DJA would demand for official report or ask that a report be made before they take steps. And I wish to take this opportunity to explain to our colleagues. DJA will not be everywhere to witness every situation. It is only prudent for DJA to be informed of for instance, the tape you played. It would be good for the DJA to listen to the tape or even have a first-hand information about the attack before the DJA can also act. Beyond having those facts and the real situation description, it is difficult to wade in because we have had situations where
David,
our colleague, can I just finish this? We had situations where our colleague said one thing, but when it was investigated, it turned out to be another. So we are just pleading.
So what you're saying now is, we would have to make an official complaint to the DJA before the DJA can weigh in on this.
Exactly. You know, because if you don't have the fact, what are you going to speak to?
I
what
see.
Are you going to speak to?
I see. So in the heat of the moment, we won't see the DJA weigh in unless someone has come to you to tell you that we want to officially inform you that we have been assaulted as journalists.
That's the opportunity you have provided me to wade into it by informing me and asking me of my opinion or the DJA's opinion on the matter.
But as an association, you can't be proactive in instances as this.
For instance, how will we know that a colleague is going into an area and that that colleague has been attacked if that colleague do not inform the DJA about it?
No,
you get the point I'm making?
What I'm saying is that we have a situation right now. You expect the multimedia group to come and inform the DJA that this is what happened before the DJA takes action.
Let me give you.
But the DJA itself will not be bothered by the fact that a journalist has been abused or assaulted, and will decide that we want to find out what happened.
Let me give you an example and see whether it will work. I understand that the case has been reported to the police, and the police will take action. I understand that the case, the NHIS has gone ahead to interdict the gentleman involved. Without a formal complaint to this institution, how would they have gone about their work? Yes, we can, in the surface of it, speak to it, condemn the people, report the people. But beyond that, what can we do without the facts?
But you agree with me that journalists are not members of the police service. Journalists are not members of the NHIA, but we are members of the Ghana Journalists Association. And so we can't put both organizations on the same level.
So let me give you another example.
Okay, so then here's my example. Here's my example.
Yeah. Okay.
If something happens to me because I went out somewhere, my parents won't wait for me to tell them what happened before they weigh in on asking me, what happened to you? Who did this to you? No, let me finish. And it's the same situation with the Ghana Journalists Association. If I'm a member of the Ghana Journalists Association, I don't think my parents as the GJA should wait for me to come and tell you that when I went out, Master A slapped me. I think as GJA, you should come and ask me, when you went out, I heard Master A slapped you. What happened? Should it always be that you as the parent will wait for your children to come and tell you?
Can I answer that, or can I speak to it? I think that on this point I disagree. Because if you're in the house and your son comes in, rushing to crying, at least you expect your son to tell you what happened before you move out. You can't move out without getting the full facts from your son. That's the point I'm making. Because without the facts, look, I wasn't there even to see what happened to our colleague. How would I speak to it if my colleague does not come to me and say that, look, when I went out, this is 1, 2, 3 that happened to me?
Dave, honestly though, I'm indeed very surprised about the kind of analogy you're giving. But if Yapokria is here. News editor for Adom FM, who was in the studio with me earlier on News Desk, reacted to some of the comments from the GJA. She also intimated that indeed a medical report will be sent to the police station later today.
Absolutely any expectation of GJA at all. So if Mr. Agbenu is speaking like this because he thinks I'm expecting GJA to do it, no. I have my own legal arrangements that I've done, and I do not need GJA. Number two, I work for multimedia. Now I've been working here for 15 years. I think that multimedia will have their own legal arrangement. Even if multimedia doesn't, I will make my own legal arrangement. I do not need them. Okay, Mr. Agbenu is speaking like this because in recent times I have been a critic of GJA and the activities and the level of good governance in GJA.
Which is something he's mentioned.
I suspect maybe that's why he's speaking like this. I'm not saying that is factual, but I'm saying this is my suspicion. So I do not have any, if they do not come, why? It doesn't change the story for me.
We'll bring you more on that in subsequent broadcasts. So turn attention to something else now. In a build-up to its national convention in December, the Progressive People's Party says it will, from Saturday, September 27, begin the election of regional executives across all 10 regions in the country. National Secretary of the party, Kofi Sian, said the party is also hopeful of selecting parliamentary candidates for the 2016 elections before the year ends.
The regional conferences that are coming up, every card-bearing member within the region is entitled to vote. We're starting with the central region, which is 27th of September. We go the following week to eastern region, which is the 4th of October. And then we go to the upper east region, 11th of October. And then 25th of October, we will do voter region. But before that, we'll do 18th of October in the Brong-Ahafo region. The other 5 regional conferences will be held in November, and we will be able to complete that process and have our national convention to elect national officers on the 13th of December 2014, this year. So that is where the process will end. We initially had a plan to make sure that parliamentary candidates are selected before the year ends, but that plan is still on course as at now. So after the election in December, we'll see how fast we can move to get that done, so that we have some 2 years or 2-year period to be able to take our message with enough time to the electorate, and I'm sure they will, this time around, have enough time to scrutinize the policy positions that the PPP is putting forward. We are proud to say that we are the biggest political party in terms of ideas to govern this country. So the question should no longer be, can the PPP win? Because the PPP can win any day when Ghanaians queue and vote. The question should be, the policies that we have outlined, can the PPP govern well? And when that is answered, Ghanaians do not have any choice but to vote for the PPP, because we can govern with those policies that we've outlined. MPP and NDC have had their day, 20 more years since 1992. But where we sit and what they do and the reactions they get from each other, the value is the same. So Ghanaians would now have to look for an alternative. But we also need to pray for awakening, that Ghanaians will see that there's a party there, and then not just see it, that the party is there, but it needs support, and it takes people's vote to make a party bigger or smaller.
So Thursday, Ghana's Eurobond was oversubscribed. What would we do with the money? I'll tell you when I come back with what's trending in business. Don't go away. Time now for what's trending in business. Well, chartered economist Dr. John Gachi is urging government to utilize the $2.9 billion worth of bids in Eurobonds issued from foreign investors Thursday for its intended purposes. We spoke earlier on the AM show.
To raise money internationally through the bond, you would definitely incur costs. I do not know whether we have any benchmark for which we are comparing the cost we are going to incur in the issuance of this cost. Of course, we are aware that because of development internationally and the macroeconomic situation of our country, coupled with the multiple ratings that we had, which downgraded our economy, we are aware that definitely the cost of this issuance will be relatively higher than before in terms of real money. But in terms of the percentage, I do not think that we can say so. But of course, the point I want to make is that I think everybody was expectant that the cost was going to be huge because of the development within and outside our economy. If we were to be borrowing such amount of money domestically, we will be talking about interest rates within the region of 25 and above, which will be abysmal. So the best.
Well, the interest rates are already high, aren't they?
Yes. So the best approach is to go internationally. Of course, the international rate is far better than the internal one. I think the best advice that one can give is that the prospectus accompanying the bond document indicate clearly what the money is going to be used for. So having secured this money, I think the focus should be on how the money should be spent in an accountable manner in the area that have been outlined in the bond document that will help the economy come out its difficulties. I think that is what is crucial for me now.
Ghana Real Estate Developers Association says it is working closely with members and government to address the housing deficit in the country. According to its former president, Dr. Alexander Cheneboa, the new initiative also looks at making the housing units more affordable for the ordinary Ghanaian.
Ghana currently has a social housing problem with a deficit of 1.7 million units, and this keeps growing by the day. Many Ghanaians find it difficult to afford a decent home due to high prices and the poor economic conditions. According to a former president of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, Dr. Alexander Cheneboa, the new real estate journal will enhance timely knowledge sharing and encourage growth in the sector.
I sympathize with the average Ghanaian in the current plight of housing not being affordable. Greater and its members in particular are constantly looking at various different ways in bringing housing, making housing more affordable for the average Ghanaian. It's just been unfortunate that in the recent times we have been hit with some drastic economic conditions which has perhaps eroded a lot of the average Ghanaians' purchasing power for houses. But we do hope that in the near future we should be able to come out with something that will satisfy the average Ghanaian.
He further adds, Greta is rebranding itself with more innovative packages.
Rebrand and move with the current trends and the current times. And Greta has been around for over 25 years. And it's a part of us branding and becoming more relevant in today's current economic situation of our country. I know that we are encouraging some of our members to also move into rentals for the average Ghanaian, because at the end of the day, it is not every Ghanaian who can afford to buy or own his own house. But we believe that every Ghanaian has the right to decent housing commensurate with his earnings and his status in life.
He advised estate developers in the country to be creative with their business in order to cut down costs.
The race. Let's move on to some sports stories now. Officials of the Ghana Football Association billed to appear before the World Cup Commission of Inquiry on September 15 are likely to do so on a later date after an appeal to the Commission to consider postponing their appearance due to execution of duties outside the country during the same period.
X by Joy Sports has revealed Ghana FA have written to seek the postponement of their appearance before the 2014 World Cup Commission. The GFA is expected to appear before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry on September 15th. But officials of the GFA including President Kwesi Nyantakyi will be away on CAF duty around the same period, prompting their request to reschedule. Checks revealed several officials of the Ghana FA will be away holding committee meetings at CAF, and the President, Kwesi Nyantakyi, will also be participating in a CAF seminar after holding a series of meetings during this same period. Concerns have been raised over the Ghana FA's appearance at the Presidential Commission so not to attract sanctions from FIFA. But the commission, which is led by an eminent justice of Ghana's appeal court, Senor Zamefe, believe they are working within the remit of their terms and are poised to proceed as set out in their terms of reference. Meanwhile, Ghana's under-20 team will play England in an international friendly in November. The match will be played in the United Kingdom, but the venue and date are yet to be determined by the organizers. If the friendly is finalized, it will serve as part of Ghana's preparations for the 2015 African Youth Championship next March. The Black Satellites qualified for the finals in Senegal this month after beating Gabon 4-1 in Libreville in the final qualifying round return leg.